Alright, so, I'm going to be doing a review of a comic that's been out for a bit, but I figured, you know what, I read it and I liked it so much, I wanted to do a review on it. And that is Godzilla Rivals Jet Jaguar versus Megalon. Now, a couple things, yes, I know this is a few months old. In fact, I think it's almost a year old, honestly. And I wasn't going to do a review on the book, but then I was like, you know what, I actually like the themes of it, and also, like, I've talked about how I wasn't able to find this, but this weekend I did manage to find it. It was the only piece of the Godzilla Rivals collection I didn't have. So yeah. Now I have so far the complete set until we get to the next issues. I think the next one, which is Godzilla Rivals versus Manda, which is sidebar. It's been a while since we've had Godzilla in Godzilla Rivals, and he's fighting Manda, so that'll be cool. Godzilla Rivals has mostly for the most part been other monsters fighting each other, and Godzilla has been mentioned in the background. And this one is kind of special because this was kind of an anniversary issue, treated as an anniversary issue for both Jet Jaguar and Megalon, because last year was their anniversary year. Last year was their big anniversary year for the Godzilla versus Megalon. So to have these two have a full-on fight with each other, a proper fight, rather than, them just fucking around until, Gigan, comes in and makes it a handicap match, we get treated to an actual, full-on fist fight between the two. The other thing I need to mention is that this is the first time I've ever seen a comic come with a content warning. Basically, this comic deals with suicide, and it actually is very nice of them to actually, bring up content warning, issue depicts and discusses attempted suicide. It may be difficult for some viewers, and actually leaves a line for, if you or someone else has been dealing with thoughts of suicide, contact this number. Thank you and enjoy this comic. The comic is written by Nola Pufau and artwork by Megan Huang. So the story deals with a young woman who has been a young girl named, I believe it's Megan, and she basically was having a difficult time at adjusting to school and whatnot, and almost committed suicide, and now she's trying to get a job at a burger place. And essentially what happens is that Megalon shows up. Right out the gate, Megalon shows up. The resulting collapse leads to her new manager getting killed, and her falling into a hole where she discovers Jet Jaguar in an old, abandoned laboratory, where Jet Jaguar's creator in this comic had died suddenly, and Jet Jaguar was left in disrepair. So in here, Jet Jaguar can talk. He's actually using technology around him to speak. So, yeah, that's been kind of a thing, is that Jet Jaguar has now... This is the second time now I think Jet Jaguar has been given the ability to speak, because he did have, in the anime, he bonded with that AI so he could speak. So he's not exactly talking directly, but he is using things to speak for him. Yeah. So in here, the Megan, who is still dealing with the trauma of seeing, now two corpses and her own attempted suicide and almost getting crushed to death, has to help Jet Jaguar get back into fighting, put himself back together, and help Jet Jaguar get up and fight Megalon. The artwork is really fun. I really enjoy the kind of vibrancy of the color of the artwork. I really like how it doesn't feel too cartoonish. It feels unique, but it doesn't feel cartoonish. And I do like that Jet Jaguar also has this thing where he does give, some inspiration to Megan after her attempted suicide, and is I can't tell you how to feel, but from what I'm seeing, you're stronger than you are. And there's more to it than that, but I'm just kind of summing it up in a way. So in this story, you're probably wondering, well, with Godzilla Rivals, you always have a problem with the fight. The fights are either too short or glossed over. So, Multi, what's your verdict on the fight? This might be one of the best fights in the Godzilla Rivals series, because it's literally just page after page after page. It is the second half, the entire second half of the book is nothing but a fight. You got to start with this 2-page spread, and then it goes on for, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 pages. The fight goes on for, it's a full 18-page brawl between the two of them, and it is like no dialogue. It is just letting the artwork tell the story for itself. So yeah, it's probably been this one has been probably the best of the fights for Godzilla Rivals, because it's actually like giving us what we want to see, like what they build up, rather than, you know, have it at the last 5 seconds and be like 3 pages long. Looking at you, Godzilla, you know, Destroyer versus Biollante and Mothra versus Titanosaurus. So yeah, so this was a solid one. I like the story, the overarching story. I love, of course, the fight. I still say Mothra versus Mogera is probably still my favorite. I still say that one should have been called Mechagodzilla versus Mogera. But this is this is like definitely solid in the running. I really can't wait for the next Godzilla Rivals to see what they'll do with Manda. But the one I'm most excited for is Godzilla Rivals Ghidorah versus Mechagodzilla, because that one's not only going to be a fight between Godzilla's 2 biggest enemies. I still want Ghidorah versus Destroyer at some point. Give us Ghidorah. We need Ghidorah versus Destroyer in Godzilla Rivals. But the other thing of why I'm a little more excited for Ghidorah versus Mechagodzilla is because it's going to be written by Tom Waltz, who has been the co-writer for Ninja Turtles in IDW, and in the previous continuity before they brought in Jason Aaron. So yeah, this was a solid back issue, and I'm glad I finally managed to find it. So yay! Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below if you read this comic. Let me know what you guys thought of it, and other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.